As we approach 1 week until Season 14, its content update has been released, showcasing its features. Enemy armories have been confirmed to now be locked, and the siren shenanigans in-game continue. Welcome to Ghost Flash, the only place to stay up to date with all the latest Sea of Thieves news as and when it comes out. And today we have another big one, because Sea of Thieves have released the Season 14 content update ahead of its launch on October 17th. In addition, enemy armories have confirmed to be locked, there are brand new cosmetics coming to the outpost stores, and there are some more siren shenanigans going on in-game. So let's just get straight into it. So then, starting with the content update, the first thing they show is sneaking, and sneaking has been confirmed to reduce the noise you make while moving, but also it will hide your nameplate from other crews. I presume you'll walk slower when crouching, as that would make most sense. Generally that's how it works in other games. In addition, if you think you've been spotted, while sneaking you can actually climb over the side of the ship, which I think is really awesome. While crouching, you'll also be less visible to the various enemies around the Sea of Thieves world, so it's going to be very useful if you find yourself on low health without any food. Crouching is going to make for a very interesting playstyle, and I suspect that the heavy melee attack that the throwing knife can do will be used a lot more with crouching, because you can sneak up behind someone and then heavy melee someone to get the high damage off. Moving on to the Mer fruit, we previously didn't know what this was going to do, we only speculated, but now it's been confirmed that it will stop mermaids spawning near you after you've eaten it. As mentioned in the lore, it will have to be cooked first. And speaking of the Mer fruit, we have a couple more journals from Diving Bell that have recently been added in-game to go through. Starting off with the 4th journal in the Shrine of the Flooded Embrace. With no merfolk on the waves, the ancients could sneakily dive to attack the sirens and catch them unawares. However, to keep the secret from the sirens, the merfolk made sure the effects would only be released after the fruit was cooked. Sirens seldom do anything but swim around and attack people, so this culinary safeguard worked well. I was hooked on this history now and had to head for the Treasury of the Sunken Shores to find out more. And over there, one of the ancients' favoured weapons was the blowpipe. They would use darts to hunt against their enemies. With their new ability to sneak up on the sirens, the merfolk saw a chance to fight back with the blowpipe. They improved the darts with more enchantments, giving each one a different ability. Finally, I would be heading back to Discovery Ridge for one last history lesson, so for all you lore nerds out there, that is some more info on the sirens talking about the blowpipe and the Mer fruit, and I presume we're going to find out some big reveal at Discovery Ridge when the final journal becomes available in-game. For those who have absolutely no idea what I'm on about, there have been journals in-game dotted around detailing the Mer fruit and some more ancient lore. If you want to check all that out, I'll link my previous video in the top right now, covering some of the previous Season 14 teasers. Continuing on, you can now hide in chests and barrels. We already knew this, but we didn't know the specifics of how it will work. And whilst they're not explicitly said in the content update, they're referred to as disguises. So I'm not sure whether that means an emote, but I don't think you'll just be able to get into any chest, as it's been confirmed that everyone starts off with the sailor chest and barrel disguise, but you'll be able to unlock different disguises by completing commendations. Onto the blow darts, I suspect these are going to be very fun. We already know what they'll do in the sense they fire darts that give status effects, but this is the first time we properly see it in game, and the different effects have been confirmed. The first one, and most obvious, is poison. The poison appears to be very strong, so you'll need to make sure you have food on hand, otherwise you'll probably meet an untimely end. The second one is lure, and this is pretty interesting because what it does is it mimics the glow of loot, and you can fire this into players, so it's basically attract everyone to a player. But here's the thing, this works on enemies as well. I'm talking about PvE enemies. So if you stick this into a player, it will lure phantoms, ocean crawlers and skeletons over to that specific player. The third and final blow dart is an explosion. After firing it into a player or on the ground and waiting a short delay, there'll be an explosion. I presume these won't instantly kill a player and they won't be as powerful as gunpowder kegs, but you'll still want to try and put it out. And you can put it out by jumping into water or any other liquid, if you know what I'm saying. However, you only have a short amount of time to do this. The damage numbers we'll have to wait and see, but as I say, I would assume it's going to be pretty powerful. Moving on to traps. The bear trap we have already seen in the main menu screen and it's been teased in game as well, but here it is. The trap functions as we've previously seen it and how you'd expect to, but you can place a variety of different things in them, such as cursed cannonballs, fireworks, or firebombs. Players can disarm the trap though if they go near them without standing in it, and if they do disarm the trap, they'll be able to collect whatever you put in it. To make things harder for opponents though, you can bury these traps in the ground. Finally, the grapple gun. This is something we saw in the 2024 preview event, and now we see its final model and how it works here. There have been some changes from the original vision of the grapple gun though. It will not be able to board directly onto ships, bypassing ladders, except on the galleon. This does depart from what was originally shown in the 2024 preview event, but the team have had to find a balance between fun and literally traversing the entire world, but also balance when it comes to combat. They're very conscious of the smaller vessels like the sloop and brig, so they want to protect those vessels. You can still grapple directly onto ladders, you just can't get onto the deck. However, because the galleon has more players on it and a higher number of crew, there'll be some new sneaky routes on board, whatever that means, but that's only if pirates are distracted, of course. Aside from all that, there are some brand new cosmetics coming to the game in the update. There's a range of sneaky sets, there's obviously the Season Pass and Plunder Pass that's all Halloween themed, and the rest of the Lucky Hand set is making its way to the game as well. The final thing to go over in this update is that armories are going to be locked on enemy ships. So, if you have a loadout that you use in PvP combat, you'll be locked into that loadout unless you die or you change it on your ship. You can't board an enemy ship, kill the players, and then decide to change your loadout depending on what they're rocking. You have to stick with your weapons. This is obviously a significant meta change as it's something people have been used to for a number of years. It's important to note though that all of these changes have a very careful consideration by the dev team. This update is probably one of the biggest updates in the whole history of Sea of Thieves for changing up balance and the meta, so things have had to be thought out very carefully. This change comes as the first tool and not a weapon gets added into the game in Season 14. To wrap things up, Gilded Voyages are back from October 10th to the 17th. These lucrative quests will be available from the quest table, but you can only complete one of them for each trading company. Twitch drops are back from October 17th to the 21st, the Sea of Thieves vinyl is back in stock, and Making Mischief, the Season 14 main theme, hits streaming services on October 11th. And that just about wraps things up. Season 14 is shaping up to be an incredibly interesting season, and exciting as well. But the new stealth changes, the new weapon additions, and sneaking is going to be so awesome. It's going to be so fun to test it out and going to shake up the meta an absolute ton. Let me know what you think of all this down in the comments below. What part of Season 14 are you most excited for, and what do you think of the locking armories change? Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy them, please do consider leaving a like. It really does help out the channel an absolute ton, and subscribe to stay up to date with all the latest Sea of Thieves news as and when it comes out. And while you're at it, why not hit the bell as well so you never miss a single upload. But anyways, apart from all that, thanks for watching and I'll see you later.